but I crashed.
No, it's okay, no problem. I didn't even notice. I didn't
My
even notice.
Wi-Fi sometimes turns off like out of the blue, and I have to turn it on and connect on the internet.
Oh, it's okay, no problem. Can you see the screen I'm sharing?
Yes, I can.
Yes? Okay. So, super welcome. Today is October 1st. So, we are beginning a new month and we are doing Unit 9. And probably today we will finish Unit 9. We start today on page 69. And according to our lesson plan, we will go until page 73, which is the last page of Unit 9. Let's try to do this, right? So let me see if I can take you here to full screen. Here on Google Classroom, we posted some extra material to help us on the topics today. So we will start by talking about adjective intensifiers, and then we will move on to talk about living in the past. This is the reading and speaking part. And then we will talk about homonyms and homophones. This is a very nice topic. It's a great characteristic of the language. We will find some words that have the same spelling, but they have a different meaning. And some words, they have the same sound, but they also have a different meaning. And then finally, if time allows, we will do the everyday English of the lesson, the last page, which is about making your point. So, how to express ourselves in English, how to make our point. What are the common expressions we use to state our opinion? So, here, okay, we have the extra material to support the topics, to give the support we need. Okay, so if you have your books, open your books to page 69. All right, so let's go there. Okay, so here on page 69, we have two pictures of different classrooms, one classroom from the past and one classroom from now. Okay, so of course we can see a big difference, right? And here in number one, we have the following instruction. What are modern classrooms like nowadays? What are the characteristics of modern classrooms?
I think that the characteristical um, classrooms of the modern days is the technology.
Mhm.
It's the way that people learn has changed.
Mhm.
The um, the environment, the class has changed. Um, like if I can give an example, there are some schools that in their classes you have like a circle. The desks, they are put to form a circle so everyone can look at everyone, and at the same time they can look to the teacher.
Mhm.
And I think that way is better.
Mhm.
They have more eye contact,
Mhm.
and Also, as I said, the technology is here to help us on this journey. The um, quadro,
The board.
yes, the board has got um, intelligence as well. You can also interact with the board, like Adjective.
Mhm.
The board is, you can touch the board, you can interact with the board. I think that way we can learn faster
Mhm.
because of the exchange between us and the board.
Oh, right. Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, classes have become much more um, digital nowadays. And yes, even the sitting arrangement has changed. Yes, we do not sit like this anymore. Yes, it's much more in a circle fashion, like everybody can see everybody, right? So it's either in a circle around the table or there's no table at all. Sometimes we sit facing everybody, right? Like you said, and it's totally different. Exactly. Um, and what about teaching styles? How have teaching styles changed over the years?
I think the teaching style has changed with the technology. I gave the example of the board that now you can interact, you can make the content more interesting to look at. You can put some images, you can put some sounds, you can put some examples, you can put some colors so we can visualize better, we
Mm-hmm.
can memorize the content better because of this teaching, this modern teaching.
Yeah,
And
sure.
and also I think that the content um, as as a whole,
Yeah.
is that right? As a whole,
Yes.
the content as a whole have also
Yeah,
changed.
you can say the content in general.
The content in general has changed to be more interesting, and it's not like a lot of um, words,
Uh-huh.
only words. Now you have words in different colors, in different size. You have also some images to illustrate. You have audio, and I think that it helps us to consolidate
Yes. That's
everything. And
yes.
with the help of technology, we have everything on on our hands, and um, so we can like whenever we want to um, whenever we want to go up, no go up. Revisar. I forgot the first word for that.
Sorry.
Revisar. I forgot the
Review, recap, review.
review. Yes, all the content again because we have it on our cell phones.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I think that's more interesting than
Yeah, sure. And also, the teaching style is not so teacher fronted as it used to be in the past. There is more collaboration from the students, there is more interaction.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that if a student is in stressful environment, we tend to have more difficulties to learn and to
Mhm.
process the information because we feel afraid
Yeah, that's true.
teacher of the exam, and I think that's not a good way because
Uh-huh.
we tend to not learn. We just
Yeah,
memorize the information to get a good grade, but
yeah,
after this, we forget everything.
that's true. Yes. So everything nowadays is more student oriented. Yes, it's more flexible, and the environment in the classroom is more relaxed. So I think it's better. That's really good. So let's take a look here at number 4. We're going to listen to 4 people: Shane, Samantha, Rupert, and Charlotte talk about a teacher they remember well. Answer these questions after each one. So let's see the questions first. Question number 1: what was the teacher's subject? Question number 2: what did she or he look like? Question number 3: what is said about the age of the teacher? Question 4: why is she or he so memorable? Is it for positive or negative reasons? And question 5: did he influence or did she influence the speaker in any way? If so, how? Okay, so I will play each one and then I will pause so we can see the answers. Okay.
Track 32. A Teacher to Remember. Sean.
Interestingly enough, the teacher I'll never forget is my Latin and ancient Greek teacher. You may think they're dry subjects, uh, dead languages, but Mr. Lang, the teacher, somehow used to make these dead languages seem stone cold easy. He looked the part. He was kind of traditional looking, very formal and serious. He'd always wear a dark green or dark brown suit, and he had a long black mustache. He'd been at the school for over 20 years, so he must have been in his 50s, I guess. You'd think that everything about him was boring and serious because he never smiled or laughed, never. But somehow he was clear, interesting, and entertaining. He had a razor sharp wit, and there were jokes hidden in his words if you listened carefully, and we all did. I passed my final exams, but I didn't study Latin or ancient Greek in college. However, I did study philosophy, and that was a direct result of learning about the great philosophers Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, from Mr. Lang.
Samantha.
My most memorable teacher, I think that would be Mrs. Chapman. I was about 13 or 14, and she was our English and drama teacher. She was short and plump, dumpy in fact, with mousy brown hair. She looked like everybody's kind, middle-aged aunt, but she wasn't very nice. She had a big, loud voice, and she used to like to get us to act out the plays we were studying, and she'd shout, "Speak up! Speak up and think about the meaning of the words." But what I remember most about her is her ruler. She had this wooden ruler, and if anyone was looking sleepy or bored, she'd poke them on the shoulder with this ruler and shout, "Wake up, girl!" or "boy." Then one day she spotted someone asleep, sound asleep, and snoring at the back of the class. Mrs. Chapman was so furious, she slammed the ruler down on his desk and it broke in half. We were all scared stiff. She didn't throw the ruler away after that. It was even sharper when she poked you in the back. Maybe her classes helped me, though. I'm a lawyer now, and when I have to speak in court, Mrs. Chapman's words ring in my ear. Speak up! Speak clearly, girl!
Rupert.
I don't think I ever had a favorite teacher, but I had a least favorite teacher, and weirdly, he was probably the most successful teacher I ever had. You see, when I was in elementary school, I was really good at math. I could do it all. But when I went to high school, I had a succession of dismal math teachers, and by the time I took my final exams as a junior, I was absolutely hopeless. I failed miserably, and I needed to pass math to graduate from high school, so I had to retake it as a senior. This time with a very different teacher, Mr. Biggs. I have no idea how old he was, just old. But you know when you're 16, 35 seems old. I'd say he was probably in his late 30s, and big like his name, with a huge, booming voice. He was very sarcastic, and it seemed to be his mission in life to embarrass his students, and me in particular, because I was retaking the class as a senior. He was always calling on me to go to the front of the class to do problems on the board, and he'd sneer if I got it wrong, which was most of the time. I hated him with a passion. But actually, his explanations were crystal clear, and gradually over the year, I improved. I got a really good grade on the final exam and was able to apply to some pretty good colleges.
Charlotte.
Well, one teacher I'll never forget is Miss Wilkinson. She taught chemistry and biology. I didn't like her subjects much, probably because I wasn't very good at them. She seemed old to me, but she was probably just in her early 30s and kind of tall and gangly. She drove this ancient car, and she always seemed too big for it. She had to crouch over the steering wheel. Anyway, the reason I remember her so well is because I think she fell for my dad. Really? You see, he'd sometimes pick me up from school, and one day, there she was in her car, and she couldn't get it to start. So, of course, my dad, being the sweet gentleman he was, helped her. Miss Wilkinson was glowing with gratitude. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Gallio. You're so kind, so kind." She went all weak and wobbly, not at all like she was when she was yelling at us in class. And then every time he came to pick me up after that, somehow Miss Wilkinson would appear, and she was always asking me about him. "How's your father, Charlotte?" "Just fine, Miss Wilkinson. He and my mom are going to the beach this weekend." I just made that up to see her reaction. My friends and I used to giggle about it. When I mentioned it to my dad, he just laughed and said, "Don't be silly, Charlotte. Nobody would fall for an old, boring guy like me." But my mom knew better.
All right. Hello, guys. Hi, Lorena. Good to see you. Good evening.
Hi, teacher. Good evening. Hi, Kaina.
Good to see you.
Anna, good evening.
Good
All
evening.
right. So we're doing this activity here, a number 2, page 69. We were supposed to listen to 4 people, Sean, Samantha, Rupert, and Charlotte, talking about a teacher they remember well from school. And then we should answer some questions about each one. Okay? So the first question is, what was the teacher's subject? So let's see if we remember, okay, something about each one of them. So
I hear math,
okay.
but
Who talked about a teacher from math?
oh, wow, teacher, I don't remember.
All right. So I will play one more time and I will put the transcript. So you can match the name and the subject, okay?
Track
name.
32. A teacher to
Okay.
remember.
Shine, okay?
Sean.
Interestingly enough, the teacher I'll never forget is my Latin and ancient Greek teacher. You may think they're dry subjects, dead languages, but Mr. Lang, the teacher, somehow used to make these dead languages seem stone cold easy. He looked the part. He was kind of traditional looking, very formal and serious.
So first of all, Shine, what was the teacher's subject?
Latin.
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 Yes. Okay. So he's talking about his also Latin and ancient Greek, two subjects actually. All right. So he taught Latin and ancient Greek. Okay. Now they are considered dead languages. But according to Shine, this teacher was so good that he made these languages seem stone cold easy. Stone cold easy is just a way to say very easy. Okay. All right.
He'd always wear a dark green or dark brown suit, and he had a long black mustache. He'd been at the school for over 20 years, so he must have been in his 50s, I guess.
All right. So what did he look like and what is said about the age of the teacher?
About 50.
Yes, he was in his 50s.
Yes.
So when we don't know the exact age of a person, we use these expressions like this. Oh, he must have been in his 50s. Okay. So we try to guess like this. Or he was in his late 50s or in his early 50s. Okay. So he must have been in his 50s. Okay. Here he talks about his appearance. He'd always wear a dark green or dark brown suit, and he had a long black mustache. Okay. Now, why is he so memorable? Let's see. Here, let's see.
I think that everything about him was boring and serious because he never smiled or laughed, never. But somehow he was clear, interesting, and entertaining. He had a razor sharp wit, and there were jokes hidden in his words if you listened carefully, and we all did. I passed my final exams, but I didn't study Latin or ancient Greek in college. However, I did study philosophy, and that was a direct result of learning about the great philosophers, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, from Mr. Lang.
Samantha.
Okay. So, hi, Marcus. Good
Hi.
evening.
Good
Hi.
evening.
Good to see you. So, why was this teacher so memorable? Why? Why was he so memorable?
Because he never laughing.
He never laughed.
Laughed
Okay.
or smiled.
Uh-huh. Could be. But here, even though I guess even though he never smiled or laughed, he was clear, right? He was clear, he was interesting and entertaining. So I guess this is the most important thing. So even though he never smiled or never laughed, he passed his message. He was able to transmit his idea. So he was clear, interesting, and entertaining. And he also, like he said here, he had a razor sharp wit. This is important. What is to have a razor sharp wit? Do you understand this?
No, could you explain?
Yes, to have a razor sharp wit is to have a kind of intelligence that is really right to the moment. You know, he knew how to say things at the right moment, you know, and this is something that only a few people know how to do. So some people know how to say things at the right moment. So that's why we say they have a razor sharp wit. Do you know the meaning of razor? A razor is
No.
what we use. Yes, a razor is what we use to shave. If you have a beard, you have to shave every now and then. Okay, you have to shave your beard to keep it trimmed, right? So you can use a razor or you can use an electric razor. Nowadays, people use electric razor. So a razor sharp is something that really cuts, something that cuts well, okay? Wit is the same as intelligence. So a razor sharp wit is an intelligence that is very sharp. It's something that is really good, and it's the kind of intelligence that is the intelligence that goes with the words that you say. You say the right things at the right time, you know. You know how to say the right words when necessary. So that's why people say, oh, he has razor sharp wit. He knows what to say. Okay. So, and then here he says he had a razor sharp wit, and there were jokes hidden in his words. Look, if you listened carefully. So, and we all did. Okay. So, of course, all his words had a message, and there were jokes hidden in his words. All right. Because, of course, his wit was outstanding. So they had to really listen to him carefully so he could get the details. Everything he said was actually important to be listened to. So that's why the students they remembered him even after he wasn't their teacher anymore. So that's why he was so memorable, because he had a razor sharp wit. Okay, that's why he was so interesting and entertaining. Okay, So, okay. Now, did he influence the speaker in any way? Yes, he did. He did. He influenced because he studied philosophy at college. So it was a direct result of learning about the Greek philosopher, the great philosophers at school. So he didn't study Latin or ancient Greek at college, but he studied philosophy. So there is a connection. Okay. All right, people. So that was an influence. Now let's see Samantha, the next one. You can write. So that was Shan, okay? So let's see about Samantha.
My most memorable teacher, I think that would be Mrs. Chapman. I was about 13 or 14, and she was our English and drama teacher. She was short and plump, dumpy in fact, with mousy brown hair.
So which subject did the teacher that she chose taught? Which subject?
English and the drama teacher.
English and drama. Okay. All right. So that's the teacher that she remembers, right? The teacher, Mrs. Chapman, she was her English and drama teacher, okay? And what did she look like? She was short, plump. Plump is Shane, right? Plump, dumpy, in fact, with mousy brown hair. Okay. So dumpy is another way to say plump, right? A little fat. She looked like everybody's kind, middle-aged aunt, but she wasn't very nice. Look.
She looked like everybody's kind, middle-aged aunt, but she wasn't very nice. She had a big, loud voice, and she used to like to get us to act out the plays we were studying, and she'd shout, "Speak up! Speak up and think about the meaning of the words." But what I remember most about her is her ruler. She had this wooden ruler, and if anyone was looking sleepy or bored, she'd poke them on the shoulder with this ruler and shout, "Wake up, girl!" or "Boy!" Then one day, she spotted someone asleep, sound asleep, and snoring at the back of the class. Mrs. Chapman was so furious, she slammed the ruler down on his desk, and it broke in half. We were all scared stiff. She didn't throw the ruler away after that. It was even sharper when she poked you in the back. Maybe her classes helped me, though. I'm a lawyer now, and when I have to speak in court, Mrs. Chapman's words ring in my ear. "Speak up! Speak clearly, girl!"
Oh my God, poor girl. So let's see the characteristics of this teacher. What did she used to do? Let's see. What is sad about the age of the teacher? Let's see here. How old was the teacher? Here she just said she was middle-aged. Okay, so what is middle-aged?
Like 50s.
Yeah, like in her 50s. Okay? In her 50s. Okay, good. And why is she so memorable?
Because she, I don't know how can I say, loves to shout.
Yes, that's it. She loves to shout. Speak up,
Yes.
speak up. Yeah, that's it. And another thing she used to do, she had this wooden ruler, and if anyone was looking sleepy or bored, what would she do? She would poke them on the shoulder with the ruler and shout, "Wake up, girl," or "Wake up, boy." So that's terrible. Then she describes a situation that happened one day. She spotted someone sleeping. She saw someone sleeping or asleep, sound asleep, snoring, snoring at the back of the class. And then she was so furious that she slammed the ruler down on his desk and it broke in half. We were all scared stiff. Scared stiff means very afraid. She didn't throw the ruler away. After that, it was even sharper when she poked you in the back. So she kept that ruler, that broken ruler. So maybe her classes helped me though. I'm a lawyer now. And then she remembers Mrs. Chapman's words when she is encouraged. Speak up. Speak up clearly, girl. So somehow it helped her, right? So now let's see the third person, Rupert. So Samantha, it was Mrs. Chapman, her English and drama teacher. Okay, let's see the next one.
Rupert.
I don't think I ever had a favorite teacher, but I had a least favorite teacher. And weirdly, he was probably the most successful teacher I ever had. You see, when I was in elementary school, I was really good at math. I could do it all. But when I went to high school, I had a succession of dismal math teachers. And by the time I took my final exams as a junior, I was absolutely hopeless. I failed miserably. And I needed to pass math to graduate from high school, so I had to retake it as a senior. This time with a very different teacher, Mr. Biggs. I have no idea how old he was, just old. But you know when you're 16, 35 seems old. I'd say he was probably in his late 30s, and big like his name, with a huge, booming voice.
So what was the teacher's subject? Come on, guys. What was the
Math.
teacher? Yes. What did he look like?
Mm,
Really old in
Uh-huh.
his point of view.
Yes. Really old and very big. Yes. And what is said about the age of the teacher? He has no idea, right? He just said that he was old, probably in his late 30s. Okay. All right. Why is this teacher So memorable. Let's see.
He was very sarcastic, and it seemed to be his mission in life to embarrass his students, and me in particular, because I was retaking the class as a senior. He was always calling on me to go to the front of the class to do problems on the board, and he'd sneer if I got it wrong, which was most of the time. I hated him with a passion, but actually his explanations were crystal clear, and gradually over the year, I improved. I got a really good grade on the final exam and was able to apply to some pretty good colleges.
So why was he so memorable?
I think because he was sarcastic, and also because he used to embarrass his
Yeah.
students, and in particular, the guy who was speaking. And but he was a good math teacher. So I want to know the meaning of to sneer.
Yeah, it's near if I got it wrong, which was most of the time. To sneer is the same as to when you are sarcastic and you make fun of someone. You know, when you make a comment, like
Mm-hmm.
when you make a sarcastic comment about someone, you know. So he would do that, unfortunately. Yeah. He would make a sarcastic, like when you like make a joke,
Yes,
you
I
know.
understand.
Yeah. So whenever he made a mistake, when he got a problem wrong, he would sneer, and then the student felt very embarrassed. You know, he was in front of everybody. He was there on the board. So imagine. So that is totally unprofessional. So, but then on the other hand, he would give a clear explanation and show how to do it. And all the students would learn, including him. So to him, it would be amazing because he would never forget how to do that. So this is what he said. His explanations were crystal clear, and gradually over the year, I improved. So it was a way for him to improve, right? So look at the result. He got a really good grade on the final exam, and he was able to apply to some pretty good colleges. So as a result, he got into great colleges. So it was good. So it was a great influence. All right. So let's see Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Well, one teacher I'll never forget is Miss Wilkinson. She taught chemistry and biology. I didn't like her subjects much, probably because I wasn't very good at them. She seemed old to me, but she was probably just in her early 30s and kind of tall and gangly. She drove this ancient car, and she always seemed too big for it. She had to crouch over the steering wheel. And
So what is the subject of this last teacher?
Chemistry and biology.
Yes, that's right. And what did she look like?
Old, tall, and gangly.
Yes, not really old. She seemed old, but she was in her early 30s, right? She was kind of tall and gangly, like this, right? She must have been kind of skinny, thin. he said, or she said here with Charlotte, she said that she drove this ancient car and she almost, she seemed too big for it because she was tall. So she had to crouch over the steering wheel. You know when the person is too big for a car, so you have to to do like this.
Anyway, the reason I remember her so well is because I think she fell for my dad. Really? You see, he'd sometimes pick me up from school, and one day, there she was in her car, and she couldn't get it to start. So, of course, my dad, being the sweet gentleman he was, helped her. Miss Wilkinson was glowing with gratitude. "Oh, thank you, Mr. Gallio. You're so kind, so kind." She went all weak and wobbly, not at all like she was when she was yelling at us in class. And then every time he came to pick me up after that, somehow Miss Wilkinson would appear. And she was always asking me about him. "How's your father, Charlotte?" "Just fine, Miss Wilkinson. He and my mom are going to the beach this weekend." I just made that up to see her reaction. My friends and I used to giggle about it. When I mentioned it to my dad, he just laughed and said, "Don't be silly, Charlotte. Nobody would fall for an old, boring guy like me." But my mom knew better.
All right. So why was she so memorable?
Because she had a crush for Charlotte's father.
Yes. That's true. That's true. She fell for her father. Yes. And did she influence the speaker in any way?
I didn't get it.
No. Did she influence the speaker? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, not really. All right. Now, let's see the second part here. They want us to listen again and just try to find out which teacher poked students and with what. Do you remember?
What is poked?
Poked is cutucar. In the past, cutucava ou cutucou. To poke. Poke is a verb, to poke without D, right? To poke is the same as cutucar. Okay? So in the past, which teacher poked students with what? Bless you.
Thanks.
The teacher who how can I say shouted with her students.
Yes, the one who used to shout with the students, the English and drama teacher who used a ruler. I think Samantha's teacher. Which teacher taught dry subjects? Latin and ancient Greek.
What is dry subjects?
Dry subjects, subjects that are, kind of old, like dead subjects. Subjects that are not active anymore. People don't use them anymore. So we call them dead subjects or dry subjects.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Dead languages, yes.
Latin,
Latin, yeah.
Latin.
Latin, Greek, ancient Greek.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Which teacher had to crouch?
What is crouch?
Crouch is to curvar-se, like when you are too big, for example, to be in a car, you are too tall, you have to do like this to drive the car.
um, I don't remember really.
Yes, the last one, Charlotte's teacher, Miss Wilkinson. Miss Wilkinson, she has to crouch to drive her car because she's too big. Let me show you the answers to that one because you may not remember all the answers. Look, the first one, Mrs. Chapman, she poked her students with a ruler. Mr. Lang taught dry subjects, Latin and Greek. Miss Wilkinson had to crouch over the steering wheel of her car because she was so tall. Mr. Biggs had a mission in life to embarrass his students, in particular, Rupert. Mrs. Chapman slammed down her wooden ruler on the desk because one of her students was sound asleep and snoring at the back of the class. Mr. Lang had a razor sharp wit. There were jokes hidden in his words. Miss Wilkinson glowed with gratitude to Charlotte's dad because he helped her get her car started. And finally, Mr. Biggs gave crystal clear explanations about math problems. Okay. All right.
Yes, okay.
All right, people. Okie dokie. So now, guys, moving on to the adjective intensifiers that we saw in the listening. So let's take a look here. Look at these lines from the audio script. Which words intensify the adjective? Let's take a look there. He used to make these dead languages seem stone cold easy. He had a razor sharp wit. So as you can see, we have some words that come before the adjective to intensify the adjective. They all make the adjective stronger, okay? Like stone cold, razor sharp, okay? Complete the sentences with a word from the box. I already left the answers here just to make it easier for you and so we can go faster, okay? But let's do this together. We have the words brand, stiff, freezing, tiny, wide, great, boiling, and sound, okay? So let's see the first one. They live in this great big house in the middle of Boston. So you see, guys, we have here the word house and we put two adjectives before to intensify. Actually, great is intensifying the adjective big. Great, big. Okay? One adjective intensifying the other. Okay? Great big house. Number two, I only made one tiny little mistake. So here I have the word tiny intensifying the word little, just to show that it was a very small mistake. So one tiny little mistake. Okay. Number 3, careful with the soup. It's boiling hot. Instead of saying it's very hot, which is the natural way to say, oh, careful, it's very hot, we can say it's boiling hot, just to intensify, okay? Hot is the adjective, so I can intensify using the adjective boiling, okay? Number 4, it's freezing cold in here. Can't we turn up the heat? Freezing intensifies the adjective cold to say that it's very cold. Oh, it's freezing cold here. Okay. Number 5, do you like my car? It's brand new. So new is the adjective. Instead of saying, oh, it's super new or it's very new, I can intensify the fact that I just bought it. I just bought the car. I can say it's brand new. Okay. Number 6, don't worry. You won't wake the kids. They're sound asleep. Just to intensify the fact that they are in deep sleep. They are sleeping soundly. Okay? So there is no risk waking them up. They are not going to wake up because they are sound asleep. All right. Number 7, I take a cold shower every morning. Then I feel wide awake. Wide awake is exactly the opposite of sound asleep. Wide awake is completely awake. It's when I'm not sleepy. I'm totally, completely awake. So I'm wide awake. Okay? So if you take a cold shower in the morning, of course, you will feel wide awake. Okay? So you intensify the adjective awake with the word wide. Okay? Number 8, I'm fed up with this class. Me too. I'm bored stiff. So here you intensify the adjective bored by using the adjective stiff. I'm bored stiff. Instead of saying I'm really bored or I'm very bored. Okay, you can say I'm bored stiff.
Teacher,
Yes.
what's the meaning of stiff by itself? I think it's something, it has something to do with pain.
Sorry. To do with what?
Pain.
Pain.
Like
Yeah.
a stiff neck.
Like what?
A stiff neck.
Yes, it has to do with when you have a stiff neck, you have that that problem that you cannot turn your neck to the side because it hurts. You know,
Yeah.
remember when, yes, when you sleep in a bad position and you wake up with a stiff neck and you can't move your neck to just,
Yes.
you can move one side, but it can't move to the other side. So it hurts a lot. So stiff, it's kind of hard actually. Stiff has to do with hard muscle. So you can't actually move to one side because it hurts a lot. So yeah, it has a relationship with pain, but it also has a relationship with heart. It's something that is blocked. You cannot move to one side or the other. Okay,
Okay, I got it now. Thank you.
you're welcome. So let's listen.
Track 33. 1,
They live in this great big house in the middle of Boston.
2,
I only made one tiny little mistake during my driver's test, but I still failed.
3,
Careful with the soup. It's boiling hot. Don't scald yourself.
4,
It's freezing cold in here. Can't we turn up the heat?
5,
Do you like my car? It's brand new.
6,
Don't worry, you won't wake the kids. They're sound asleep.
7,
I take a cold shower every morning. Then I feel wide awake.
8,
I'm fed up with this class.
Me too. I'm bored stiff.
All right, very good. So these are some adjective intensifiers that we saw in the listening script, okay? So here we have some final discussions. What makes a teacher memorable? Think of positive, negative, and funny reasons. So what do you think, guys? You can remember some examples from the listening if you wish.
I think everyone has their own reason to remember teacher. I think every teacher has unique its unique um, with an
Kinda. Oh, sorry, I can't hear you anymore. Oh, I
I'm
think,
back. I'm back.
okay, all right.
I think that every teacher has your own personality, your own unique way of being memorable.
Mhm.
Some are funny, other are like a good person, other are like good in what they do. And for example, in your case, I think what makes you memorable is the way you teach, the way you make things more easily to understand. And that's one of the things that I'll never forget about you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. That's so nice. Oh, thank you. Oh, I really love teaching and I love English. So, when we put two things together like this, it's nice because we can um, pass on what we love doing so we can help other people understand and learn. It's amazing. It's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's very nice.
Yes, I agree with kinda.
Thank you, Lorena. Thank you so much. It's very nice when we can transmit a little bit of what we know, right? And it's nice because we do it with so much love, and it's wow, it's really from our heart, really. That's amazing. Thank you. All right. So let's move on to the next page. So on this page, the focus was adjective intensifiers. So we saw how we can intensify something when we want to express we want to talk about, um, we want to express our feelings about something. And sometimes we use words to show that, and we can be more varied. We want to diversify. We don't want to use the same words like very or really, because we always use them, right? So we can change a little bit. We can use other words because we are advanced students. So we can use other words. Now, the next part of our lesson is about living in the past. So some people like this kind of lifestyle. They like living in the past. Some people really cultivate this lifestyle. They have this hobby, if we could call it this way, a hobby. Let's take a look here. Let me just first of all, let's look at the pictures, right? Here we have a guy called Peter Saunders. Look at Peter and his clothing, his outfit. And here we have a woman, Joanne Massey. Oh my goodness, look at her house. It doesn't seem like she's living in the 21st century. So we have two people apparently. Oh, let me try to reload the page here. So do you know anybody now who would like to live in the past? A person who is kind of nostalgic, who would love to go back in time, for example.
I think in my case, I would go back in the past just to
Really?
live everything again, like the good moments I'm in. Because I'm a very nostalgic person. I
Oh.
tend to think about what I lived, like often, like
Mhm.
very often, and I miss the people, the good people that I met, like in the past, my friends from school,
Mhm.
and some people that are not here anymore.
I
So
see.
I would like to live my childhood again because I
Oh.
had a um, good, great childhood.
Oh. Oh, that's nice. That's really good. What about you, Lorena? Would you like to go back in time?
Uh, yes and no, because every moment is unique, but like kind of said, we have um, a good moments, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we really like to back in these moments, but not to live all my life again. Do you know?
Uh-huh. Okay. But maybe to visit. Only.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's take a look at these two people and why they have the habit of cultivating a lifestyle of the past century. They really collect even furniture of the past century. It's incredible. They really like it. So, look, what do you know about the time when your grandparents and even great grandparents were young? When was it? And what were their houses like? What did they do for entertainment? So, this is way, way back. Not when we were young, but when our grandparents were around, right? Think about it. What did they used to do for fun? They didn't even have cell phones, right? So, did they listen to the radio? Because there was not even TV, I think, right? So, did they read books? So look at the pictures and what things can you see that are typical of the 19th century and of the 1950s? So let's take a look here. Here we have a typical 1950s kitchen, right? This is typical of the 50s. The apron, all the kitchen utensils. Here, yes, this is the Victorian time. Oh, this is so Victorian. And this is from the 50s. Look. The fireplace.
Yes, I really like their clothes
Yes,
and the
look.
objects.
Yes. Her dress, the flower,
Yes.
the TV set, the tea set here. Look, everything. This is all about the 50s. Everything here. Even the rug is from the 50s. Everything. Really amazing. All the decoration is from the 50s. Wow, incredible. So let me see how many students we have here today. Marcus, Lorena, Kaina. So I would like to divide so we can read half the class read about Peter and the other half about Joanne Massey. So let's see. Marcus and Kaina, you can read about Peter, and Lorena, you can read about Joanne. Lorena, do you have the book?
No, teacher.
No, not yet. Okay, so I will show Marcus. Do you have the book?
No.
No, not yet. Kaina, do you have the book?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so Kaina, can you read about Peter? Peter Saunders.
Yes, I can.
Yes? Okay. So I will put here on the screen the story about Joanne. All right? So then Marcus and Lorena can read about Joanne Massey while you, Kaina, read about Peter. All right, and then we'll discuss the vocabulary, okay, briefly.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Okay, you're
Okay,
welcome.
sounds good.
All right, so let's do this together.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's begin.
Peter Saunders.
Yeah.
It was
Okay. Here.
okay.
You're reading silence. Okay.
It's in silence.
Yes, you can read in silence because we're going to read at the same time. Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Can I move here?
Okay.
Excuse me.
I finished. Uh, I think this woman live like in a TV series.
Yes.
As telefonistas, do you know?
No, 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 no. Never heard.
He's a Spanish TV series.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's different.
Yes.
But it's a different lifestyle. And she likes to be like this. She likes to have a life like that. And her husband is just the same, right?
Yes, their rules.
Yeah. It's interesting. She found the perfect match. It's interesting. Did you finish, Marcus?
Yes.
Okay. It's very nice, isn't it? She even prepares a homemade jam to put in his sandwiches. Oh, it's so nice, isn't it? Just like in the 50s. Now, what about this guy here? This guy, he went even further. He is in the past century. He is in the 19th century. That's interesting. Okay, so let's see some questions about the story and also some vocabulary. Okay, guys. So, first of all, which era is he obsessed with? So, Peter Saunders, which era is he obsessed with?
18th?
He is obsessed with the 19th century, with actually the late 1800s. So he's obsessed with the 1800s. You see? And he's very young. He's just 30 years old. Amazing, isn't it? Right? What about Joanne? Which era is she obsessed with?
Middle 20th century.
Yeah, she's obsessed with the 50s. More
15th.
specifically, yeah. More
Yes.
specifically, she's obsessed with the 50s. Yes. What does he wear, Kaina? What does Peter Saunders wear?
He wears everything in cottage.
Uh-huh.
He wears flat cap.
A vest.
A vest. What is the vest?
A vest is this. Look. This is a vest. Okay.
So he wears everything that is from Victoria's age.
The Victorian age. Yes, that's true. Yes. And what does Joanne wear?
She wears pencil skirts. I don't know how can I say clothes in 50s.
Yes, tight pencil skirts, white blouse, white belt.
Yes.
Yes, typical from the 50s. Yes. hmm Very typical. Very typical. The kind of skirt we are talking about, tight pencil skirt, are those very tight skirts that people used to wear in the 50s. Okay, very typical. And the dresses they are very typical. You know, these yellow dresses. um, now, what does he not like about modern life?
Agitação.
Sorry?
A agitação.
Yes,
Então,
very good. The agitation, the confusion. Okay, very good. What about Peter? Kind of, what does he not like? What doesn't he like about modern life?
Mm, well, I said he doesn't like the modern items because they are not made to last.
Very good. Yes, they're not good quality things. Yes,
hmm
exactly. What does he or she like about the bygone era?
What is bygone?
Bygone is something from the past. Something from the past that you miss. Okay.
I
So,
don't remember.
yes, for example, here, she likes the furniture, she likes the decoration, she likes pretty much everything. Even the customs, right? Everything from the bygone era. She likes everything. The fashion, the way she decorated her house, lifestyle. What about the boy from the Victorian period? What does he like about it? So he liked the lifestyle. Look, he says here, I like the idea of the lifestyle that the Victorians had. So here he says the Victorians were all about comfort. So all the practicality of modern life is not something that he likes. He likes the idea of comfort that the Victorians had in the past. So everything that the Victorians used to do, the way they decorated their houses, their habits, their routine, everything that everything they did, their lifestyle was something that appealed to him. So that's why he liked it. So the objects they created, so everything they created were good. They were meant to last, right? As he mentioned. So here they asked a few more questions. For example, how do they entertain friends? The Victorians, how do they entertain friends? Here.
I think they would entertain friends with a good piano meeting.
Yeah.
They used to gather um, and play piano and enjoy themselves, have a good talk, maybe drink tea.
Yeah, that's true. Tea and cake.
They used to love a sing along around the piano.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, the Victorians would love that. That would be a great source of entertainment. Yeah, that's true. And what about the people in the 50s? What would they do to entertain themselves?
I don't know. To talk with friends, uh, or invite friends for a tea or cake.
Yes.
Read newspapers. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
but I think that's it.
Yes, they would usually meet friends for tea. Here they say here they talk about it. Look. Let me see. Look, our social life revolves around visiting like-minded friends for tea and cake. So visiting friends, basically this is what they do for fun. So they visit friends who think like them for tea and cake. So this is what they do for fun. All right. Okie dokie, guys. So let's see here. Let's work on the vocabulary right away. Okay. Let's try to guess the meaning of the highlighted words. As you notice, there are some words that are highlighted. So let's see here. Right in the beginning, we have some words. The first one here is the word pantry. What do you understand by that? Everything from the toilet to the tin cans in his pantry have been lovingly handpicked from from garage sales, antique fairs, and eBay auctions. What do you understand by pantry?
I don't know.
Does anybody know? Pantry is the
No.
same as dispensa in Portuguese. Okay, guys, this is where we usually put our food when we come from the supermarket. We store the food in the pantry, okay, in the house. All right. Usually, a house has a pantry where we store the food. So whenever we need something, we go to the pantry and we get it from there. All right. Okay, guys.
Ok.
Garage sales, do you know?
Uma venda de garagem, né? Aquelas.
Yes. It's very,
Nos Estados Unidos tem muito isso, né?
yeah,
Tem
it's
até
very
programa
common.
na net.
It's very common. When they don't want something anymore, they hold a garage sale. They open the garage and they put everything they don't want anymore there, and they sell for a very good price. They call the neighborhood, and when they move to a new place, to a new neighborhood, they usually do this. Okay. Antique fair. Do you understand
Feira de
this?
antiquário.
Yes. Old things, right? eBay auction. Do you know what an auction?
Website?
Sorry?
Website or no?
eBay is a site, yes, but what do you understand by auction?
It's like when you have to give the highest price to get something.
Yes, each person gives a price to an object, and the person who gives the highest one gets it or takes it.
Ok.
All right. Nowadays, it's very common to see auctions for paintings. Okay. It's more common to see auctions for pieces of art. Okay. They are very expensive, so they are usually auctioned because they're too expensive, right? But there are also auctions for other products as well. Okay, so eBay is a site that holds auctions for many products. Okay, so here, Peter Saunders, he says that he gets most of the things for his Victorian house from garage sales, antique fairs, and eBay auctions. Okay. Now let's move on to the other page. Look, guys, garage sales. Again, sing along. Do you understand the meaning of sing along?
Yes.
Yes?
When everyone sings with the music, with the rhythm of the music.
Yes. When one person is singing and then you sing at the same time, okay, and you have the lyrics, you follow with the lyrics. This is sing along, okay? Cutlery. So here you have, most of my friends are very supportive and they love coming over for dinner parties when all the old glasses and cutlery come out.
What's cutlery?
Yes, that's my question.
I don't know.
Does anybody know? Cutlery is the collection of forks, knives. It's the collective noun to talk about all the things you use to eat something. Here in Portuguese, we call that faqueiro in Portuguese, okay? Okay?
Ok.
All right. So here in English, cutlery.
Cutlery.
Yes, because he says that he only uses the special things when the friends visit. Okay? When they visit, then he uses the old things. Okay? The old glasses, the cutlery. Okay? When they go there, when they go for dinner parties, then all the old glasses and cutlery, they come out.
I think it is similar in Brazil because when we have in a
special
occasion,
yeah,
we put all
yeah,
things
uh-huh,
to
use.
Yes.
That's true. Yes. Here it's the same. The only difference is that here he is using Victorian cutlery. He's using things from the 1800s. Actually, not even the 1900s. He's using things from, yes, from the 19th century, Victorian time. So let's see here. He says, the house has an outhouse, which Peter is restoring. So he's describing his house, and he says that the house has an outhouse. So what is an outhouse, people?
Uma varanda.
No.
Fora do comum?
Sorry?
Fora do comum?
No.
No.
Does anybody know?
Is it a house that is in the back of the main house?
An outhouse, people, is a bathroom that is outside the house. This is
I
some,
always get it.
yeah, it's something that it was very common in the past. Okay, let me see if I have a picture here to show you. In the past, in the 1800s, the houses used to have a bathroom outside the house. Okay, so let me see if I can find a picture to show you. Yeah. Let me try to share here. Can you see this picture?
Yes.
This is an outhouse. Okay, let me make it a little bigger. Okay, so this is what we used to have this kind of bathroom, which is a toilet outside the house. It was very common in the 1800s, 1900s. Okay, so here you would have the toilet, and the house, I mean, the outhouse would have a door sometimes, right? So this is the outhouse.
Banheiro de emergência.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but back in the 1800s, Marcus, this used to be sometimes the only bathroom in the house.
Uhum.
The bathroom was only external. With time, they would put the bathroom inside the house, but in the past, the bathroom was always outside. Yes.
I think it's because of a plumber system.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We didn't have plumbing. Um, in the past, we didn't have plumbing like we do now. So that's why, that's the reason why. Okay. Nowadays, we have plumbing, we have all the system, but in the past, we didn't. So that's why the bathrooms of the house would always be outside. Okay. So here he says, look, the house has, even his house, his Victorian house, has an outhouse, which Peter is restoring. But I also have a Victorian style indoor bathroom. So he has an indoor bathroom decorated in the Victorian style, okay, with antique fittings. So I guess I have the best of both worlds. So he has both styles, okay, of bathrooms. So all the modern conveniences, but with the romantic and quaint feel of the Victorian period. So what's the meaning of quaint, people? What do you think is the meaning of the word quaint?
I have no idea.
Pitada? Não sei.
Quaint is like nostalgic, right? Like this, quaint, like something nostalgic, kind of romantic. It's almost like a synonym to romantic because quaint means nostalgic. Okay. So quaint feel of the Victorian period. And it's very cozy. What do you understand by cozy?
Something comfortable to
Comfortable.
stay at
Uh-huh.
when you feel like hot.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. Warm. Uh-huh.
a good feeling.
Yes, exactly. You feel like staying there, right? You feel welcome. So cozy. That's the meaning
Mm-hmm.
of cozy, right? You feel good. You feel good to be there, okay? Cozy. And then finally, it's not sentimental in any way and has been restored in such a genuine fashion. Sentimental is like Portuguese, okay? Now here, we just have a few words. They are highlighted. The first one, Kevin is the breadwinner. What is the breadwinner? Any idea? The
Like
bread,
bruto.
no. Breadwinner is the person who works in the family, the person who makes money in the family. Okay. So she says, I am very much a lady, and Kevin is the breadwinner. So he is the one who has the job. He works. Okay. So she's a lady. She's a housewife. And Kevin has a job. He works. Okay. I make sure our home is immaculate. This is similar to Portuguese. Immaculate. All right, people. This word is similar to Portuguese. Here, the kitchen is an original English rose design. No mystery. Bought them from a family who had the items in their garage. So she also bought a lot of the things that she has in the house in a garage sale. Okay. Modern life is too hectic. What do you understand by hectic?
Hectic, something really agitated. No,
Agitated. Yeah. Busy.
yes, busy.
Yeah. Hectic is similar to busy. Very fast. Too busy. Full of things to do. Right? So no time to relax.
Hmm.
So hectic. Okay. Like-minded. So our social life revolves around visiting like-minded friends. So people who think like us, people who have the same ideas, like-minded friends. Okay. Now, she loved old movies because they seemed to represent a halcyon time. What is halcyon time? Any idea?
What is it again?
Halcyon time. She loved old movies because they seemed to represent a halcyon time when women were more feminine and men more protective.
Oh, you said that halcyon, halcyon reminds of something nostalgic, something from the past.
Yes, halcyon time is the same as good old time. Yes,
Hmm.
good old time. When I'm talking about halcyon, I'm talking about the time that we miss, something that belongs to the past, but the past that we miss. Good old times, you know? the good old times. Like, oh, I wish I could go back to that time because that time was better than now. All right, so good old times. So halcyon time. Okay. All right. So here she's talking about the times when in her mind was better than modern times, when women were more feminine and men were more protective. And then when she saw those movies, of course, she loved those movies because they represented good old times. Okay. All right. So here, we had an old-fashioned courtship before he proposed. What is courtship?
I don't know.
Courtship.
It is like na relacionamento.
Yes, it's a kind of relationship you have before you have a serious relationship. Okay? It's that relationship you have before someone proposes, okay, to get married.
Before a dating.
Before dating, yeah. First you have the courtship, then you start dating. Okay, dating is
Okay.
official.
It is like uma pessoa prometida, but you still talking with this person.
No, let me say in Portuguese. Courtship, it's like o cortejo, a paquera, and dating is namoro. Okay?
Okay.
Officially. So courtship é o cortejo. Ele cortejou, tipo, paquerou, right? And then after, officially dated. And then here, proposed, pediu em casamento. Proposed. Okay? So here, we had an old-fashioned courtship. So this courtship, it's like cortejo à moda antiga, right? So old-fashioned courtship before he proposed. Okay? All right? So everything was old-fashioned. Okay? All right? And what is the last one? Solely.
Exclusivamente.
Solely. So he has a wife who devotes solely to his happiness. He has a wife who devotes solely, exclusivamente. Very good, Marcus. So he has a wife who devotes solely to his happiness.
Acho que eu falei tão baixinho.
Yes.
Foi ele que tá chamando meu celular no celular da minha mãe. Deve ter chamado no dela e ela não deve ter atendido.
So that's the idea. Only. He devotes herself only to his happiness. That's the only thing he wants. Actually, a wife who only devotes herself to his happiness, okay? Only to her husband, solely, okay? That's that's exclusively. Exclusively, all right? So that's it. Okay, people. So this was the vocabulary for this reading, okay? So here we have the words for both things, okay? So we saw pantry, okay, here. Here in this text, we have seen cutlery, house, quaint, cozy, sentimental, okay, breadwinner, immaculate, hectic, like-minded, halcyon, courtship, solely. All right, people. Great. Let's try to do this last one here. Try to do this page. This page is very simple, guys. It's about homonyms and homophones. Okay? What are homonyms and homophones? Let me try to take you here to our page on Google Classroom just to show you the definitions of homonyms and homophones. Let me share this with you. By the way, I posted for you here some pictures of vintage items that some people like to have at home. Some people like vintage things, and they decorate their houses with vintage things like kitchen stuff. So let's see if we can look. Some people like this thing. I like it somehow. I think it's cute. And it's very expensive, by the way. It's really expensive. But some people like it. It's cute. Vintage houses are super chic nowadays. Look.
E me amarra nesses jogos.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I like that. They're cozy. They're very nice. So let's take a look at the meaning of homonyms. So let's see, guys. What is a homonym? Can you see that, this poster? Homonym means same name. A word that is spelled the same as another word, but has a different meaning. So let's take a look at the example here. Let me just make it a little bigger. Can you see now? I guess it's bigger. Look at this example, guys. We will watch the game tomorrow. Jim lost his new watch. As you can see, we have two words that are underlined, and they are exactly the same word, but they have completely different meanings. The first one here is a verb, to watch. Watch the game. The second one is a noun. It's an object. It's something we wear. It's an accessory we wear on our wrist. So, is it possible? Yes, totally possible. Like in Portuguese, we also have words in English that are spelled the same, but they have different meanings. Okay? Watch, verb, and watch, noun. This is a homonym. All right? So, let's see now the meaning of homophone. What is a homophone? Words that sound the same, but have different meanings and different spellings. Example, the sun is very hot. I have one son and two daughters. Ah, look at this, guys. Son and son. These two words, they have the same sound, but not the same spelling. The spelling is different, but they sound the same. sun, the star, and sun, a boy. If you have a boy, you have a son. So here we have an example of homophone. Okay? All right. So now let's go back to the book. Here, homonyms and homophones. What do these words mean? Let's take a look. Fan, bright, glasses, fine, bark, face. So here, they want us to write down the words we hear. So let's listen.
Track 34. Where? Nose. Wood. War. Through.
Let me play again and show you the script so you can see the words. Okay, take a look.
Track 34. Where? Nose. Wood. War. Through.
Oh my goodness, they're all homophones. All homophones. Okay.
War can also be like O or E.
O
Or
R E.
no.
Yes.
Yes, because it's gold in French. I just remembered.
Yes. So here we have an example, a series of examples of homophones. Where, nose, wood, war, through. Okay? So they give us a lot of examples there of homophones. Now, homonyms. Homonyms are words with the same spelling and more than one meaning. So let's take a look here. A bank on Main Street. The bank of a river. I've supported you until now, but don't bank on it forever. This is an expression. It's a phrasal verb, okay? Now, guys, to make it easier, I just left the answers here so you can see. Complete the pairs of sentences with the same word used twice. Example. My brother is crazy about the Lakers, but I'm a Bulls fan myself. Fan. I'm a Bulls fan myself. So here, this is the name of the team. This is a basketball team. Yes, basketball team. If I'm talking about soccer, I'm going to put the soccer team here and then the word fan. So if you want to say that you are a Flamengo fan, you are going to say, I'm a Flamengo fan myself. Okay. All right. I'm a Flamengo fan. All right. We don't have air conditioning, just a ceiling fan. It's not enough. So here, guys, Fan is the same as ventilador, okay? So here, the word has two different meanings, okay? Here, just a ceiling fan. Ceiling, teto, okay? So just a ceiling fan, all right? Okay, Marcus?
Okay.
So let's take a break now. I'm really tired. If you break that vase, Mom will be really upset. So you see here, take a break. So have a pause. Stop. And here, if you break that vase, here it's a verb. Okay? So two words that we spell the same, but they have different meaning. Okay? Number 3, what's today's date? The 3rd. I have a date tonight. I'm going out with Carl. Okay? Date here is totally different from date here. Okay? Here I have a date. So I'm going out with someone. I'm romantically involved. Okay? Number 4, don't move those heavy boxes. You might hurt your back. Mom, Travis took my cell phone. Tell him to give it back to me. Okay. Number 5. It's cold outside today. Don't forget your jacket. I don't feel well. I think I'm getting a cold. So the same word, but different meaning. Hey, guys. So here they want us to think of two meanings for these words, make sentences using them. So we're not going to do that. I just want to show you the last one here so we can close this. These are homophones. Homophones are words that we spell differently, like here we saw in the first exercise, okay? Words with the same pronunciation, but different spellings and different meanings. Like here, look, the road to the mall. She rode a horse. I rode across the river. Okay? The 3 words here have the same sound, but they are not the same. Okay? So here, to show you here, let's say number 1, the whole world. The whole world. A hole in the ground. Number 2, a piece of cake. War and peace. Okay, the same sound, but different meaning. Number 3, a rose is a flower. Now, flour to make bread. Flour is the same as trigo, farinha de trigo. Flour to make bread. Okay. Number 4, some boats have a sail. Buy clothes on Sail. Okay, same sound, different meaning. Number 5, salespeople sell things. Salespeople sell things. A prisoner lives in a cell. Okay, guys. All right, guys. So this is only a joke. Some children actually, they play jokes using puns, using these words like homophones, sometimes homonyms. So here we have an example. What did the salad say to the tomato? Let us get married. Let us get married. This is a homophone. Why do some cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work. Terrible. Okay, guys. So this is only for fun. So, okay, don't worry. We can finish this lesson. The last page is everyday English. So don't worry. We can finish that next class and do the review. Okay, no problem. So people, the homework for this class is workbook page 60. Oh, sorry, let me share this. The homework for this class is workbook page 60 and 61. Online practice, listening 6, animal communication, and iChecker unit 9 test. So we finished unit 9. All right, people.
Okay, teacher, I
Yes.
have a question.
Okay.
When will be our test?
Our test will be not next Friday, the other one. Let me give you the date precisely. Let me tell you exactly when. Let me see the calendar here. October 15th, because next Friday we will have the review of units 7, 8, and 9, and then we will have stop and check.
Okay.
Stop and check for this test. It's not the final test. This test, October 15th, actually October 15th is, I think, a holiday because October 15th is Teacher's Day. So it's going to be October 22nd because I don't think we have a class on October 15th. So we will have a review on October 8th, which is next class. And our test will be on October 22nd. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
And what about is this test?
This test is only really a test. There is no listening, there is no writing. It's only a simple test to review content from units 7, 8, and 9. It's a stop and check only. It's a stop and check from the final, the last 3 units, 7, 8, and 9. Grammar and vocabulary, okay? There is no listening, there is no project, and there is no writing. Okay. The tasks that will have the skills will be after unit 12. When we finish unit 12, then yes, you will have a project. So, but only after unit 12. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me see here if I managed to save the print screen that I just got from our class. Just a moment. My goodness, it takes forever to open. Okay. All right, people, I got it. So guys, yes, everything done. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you so much, Lorena. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, teacher.
Thank you.
Teacher,
Yes.
I will send you a picture of my reposition.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
doing, and
Okay,
I
no
don't
problem.
forget, but
Okay, that's okay. No problem, Lorena. Thank you so much, people. It was a
thank you,
pleasure.
teacher. I
Thank you,
love you.
Kaina. Too,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend. Okay,
You too.
people.
See you
You
next.
too, teacher. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you,
Bye.
Marcus. Say
Bye
hello to
bye.
your baby. Bye-bye, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. See you. Have a nice weekend. Be here next week. Okay, guys? Review. Bye-bye. See
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. Take care.